All right, guys, we are going to review subtracting integers. A lot of you guys struggled with that, so I want to go over it again. We're going to practice a little more today so we can really master this skill. We're going to practice with number line models and chip and tile models. Remember, I don't care which one you prefer. I want to teach you both so that you can pick which one works better for you. The first thing that we're going to do is label our number line. And we're going to start at 0 and go to 25, and we're going to count by 5s. And we're going to go negative as well. Okay, so now I want you guys to pause the video and label all 3 number lines so they look just like that, and they should go from negative 25 to positive 25. So pause the video and label your number lines. Okay, now that your number lines are labeled and you're ready to go, we are going to do just a couple examples on the number lines. I'm going to change colors so we know which one kind of goes where. So the first problem we're going to look at is -2 subtract 2. So remember that step 1 is that we plot our first point. Our first point. And our first point here is -2. -2 on our number line is right here. And then this negative sign tells us which direction to go. And it says we need to go more negative, or to the left. If we were on a vertical number line, we would go down. But we need to go to the left because of this subtraction sign. And then we need to take 2 steps. 1, 2. And that put us at -1, 2, 3, 4. So we are at -4. So our first step was to plot our point. Our second step was to use the sign, or the operation, I should say, use the operation to decide which way we move. And then the third step is to take steps or move the spaces indicated by the second number. Okay, so we plotted at -2, we took 1, 2 steps in the negative direction. So we're gonna do another one. We are gonna do -6 minus -5. Okay, so our first step is still the same. The first step is still to plot that first number. Which is -6. So we're going to find -6 on our number line. There it is. Now, this sign, this operation here, tells us which way to go, and it tells us to go more negative. But then you guys see that there's this other sign right here. And that sign tells us, hey, you know what? You got to turn around again. So instead of going negative, we're going to turn back around to go positive, and then we're going to take 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that put us at -1. Another way we could have thought about this would have been to think of this one as the opposite, which we talked about, but maybe you don't remember. So that now says -6 and the opposite of -5. So -6 and the opposite of -5, which is +5. And then you have -6 and you plus 5. So you had -6, you'd plot it right there. You'd go this way because this addition sign tells you to go that way. And we would take 5 steps and we would still end up at -1. So pause the video now. Make sure you've got both of those models done, and then play the video when you're ready to move on. Okay, hopefully you're all caught up. You pause the video, you're ready to go. Now we're gonna try this one on your own. So you guys are gonna try to do -5 4 subtract negative 10. So pause the video and model that on your last number line. Okay, so first things first, we always plot that first number, so we're going to find negative 4. We're going to put our point at it, it's right there. And then this told us that we need to go this way. But then there's another negative sign right here. He says, hey, turn back around. So we turn back around and we take 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We took 10 steps, and that put us at positive 6. Okay, we also could have thought of this, I'm going to change colors again here so we can see the differences, as negative 4 and the opposite of negative 10, which is 10. So then we would have said, hey, here's negative 4, and this tells me to move positive direction or to the right or up on a vertical number line, and we would take 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we end up at 6 either way. So really, guys, the key point here is to remember that subtracting a negative is actually adding a positive. So for example, negative 2 minus negative 2 becomes negative 2 plus positive 2, which would be 0. Okay, so pause the video, make sure you're all caught up, and when you're ready to move on to some chip and tiles, press play. Okay, let's move on to some chip and tiles. I'm going to come back to the same example from up top, and we're going to do negative 2 take away 2. So with a chip and tile model, this first number tells us what to start with. We would have started with 2 negative chips. And now it's saying, hey, take away positive 2. But do I have positive 2? I don't. So I'm going to add 0 pairs. And remember, you can add as many 0 pairs as you want because those would cancel out, and that still just says negative 2. So you can add as many as you want. And then it says take away negative 2. So before you cancel anything out, you're going to take away the 2 that it said to take away. So we need to take these and get rid of them. Okay, we're going to check them. And that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives. So our answer would be negative 4. Take a second, get caught up. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, now let's look at our second example, which was negative 6 subtract negative 5. So we're going to start with 6 negatives. There's our 6 negatives. And now it's saying take away 5 of the negatives. So we're going to take away 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are left with 1 negative. There's our answer. Last one we're going to do really quickly was negative 4 subtract negative 10. We're going to start by drawing 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it wants you to take away 10 negatives. But there's only 4 negatives right here. We only have 4. So there's not 10 to take away. So we have to add some 0 pairs. We're going to add 1 0 pair, 2 0 pair, 3 0 pair, 4 0 pair, 5 0 pair, 6 0 pair, and for fun we'll add 7. Okay, and remember, you could have added 15 of those. It would not have made any difference. Okay, so now we're going to take away the 10 negatives that we needed to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got rid of all 10 of these. And then, after we took away the ones we needed to, we still had this pair that could cancel out. So we're going to cancel them out. And we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. 6 positives. Okay? So remember, that could have been the same thing as -4 plus 10 because of this little rule up here. So make sure you get all those notes, pause the video if you need to, and really, really pick which model works better for you. If it's easier for you to think, hey, I need to turn around, do it. Okay? If the opposite is easier for you, that's just fine, because we could have thought of this one as -4 and the opposite of -10. Well, that would be -4 and the opposite of -10, which is 10. And it's -4 plus 10. And then we would have drawn 4 negatives and 10 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to redraw those. Hold on, guys. I just don't want it to be confusing when we cancel them out. So we're going to draw this over here. We're going to draw 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cancel out the ones that cancel out because we're adding, so we cancel out first, and we're still left with +6. Okay, so go back through these videos, practice as much as you need to. I know this is difficult, and a lot of us struggle with it, so review it, review it, review it. If you guys have any questions, let me know.